I hope you're unplugged out of the Matrix, because we're about to check out some food conspiracy theories. Let's go.
Start to feed them something called Soylent Green.
They're making our food out of people.
So this topic will always be considered fringe because it will never be able to be proven. I've got my own skepticism about this, having more to do with like the Impossible meat and the Beyond Beef. But let me offer up something to you that is not talked about enough, but very clear as day is happening. Scientists are finding out a way to turn plastic waste into edible protein. It's still limited because it's new, but they're using it for a few uses right now. Doing it to feed what they consider poverty, third world developing countries, MREs, feeding the military, and feeding astronauts. So how long do you think it's going to take before plastic waste is going to make its way into the commercial food supply? So when we live in this world that's overpopulated, we don't have enough supply to meet the demand. We also have a waste problem. So I guess the men who wear the three-piece suits who make all the decisions are the ones that thought this was a smart idea. But it'll just be a couple of years before the next time you get a Big Mac, it'll be made of half plastic.
Start to feed them something.
Bro, I'm of the belief already that we have plastics and a ton of different chemicals in our food. I'm of that belief. You know what I mean? I've heard people on different documentaries and stuff like that that talk about this type of stuff. Talk about it, like, for example, being in the cheese. Different things like that. So, yeah, I'm already of the belief. So to say that that's coming down the pipeline to us, man, that is scary to think about, fam. I'm trying to be more conscious of what I put in my body these days.
2 weeks ago, it came out that the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics in the States receives millions of dollars in funding from companies like Kraft and General Mills. The group oversees 11,000 dietitians in the United States, and the reason that this matters is because it's a clear conflict of interest for them to be receiving funding from companies like Kraft and at the same time also influencing nutrition policy in the US. Frankenfoods that are pushed by Kraft, General Mills, Nestle, and many other companies have been linked to obesity, type 2 diabetes, and so many chronic illnesses. Who is standing up for consumers in the US? 2 weeks ago.
No way. No way. Can't be, bro. And I know y'all like, yes, it can, bro. Continue to unplug yourself out of the matrix, but you just want to scream, no. There's no way the people that we get our diet information from could be compromised like that. Every day I wake up, man, and I'm just like mind blown at some of the things I hear and that could be possible. Scary.
This is my favorite question because this has become like a thing. I keep seeing all of these people all over social media being like, yeah, dietitians are funded by the food industry and big pharma, or I don't know, whatever, but what does that even mean? So none of my schooling, my undergraduate degree at Virginia Tech, my dietetic internship at Pittsburgh, any of my continuing ed certifications, like none of those were funded by the food industry. I personally am not getting paid by the food industry. I read research, but I also know how to read research, so I know that I can see who funded said research study and look at different biases. So like, what does this even mean? Maybe I wish that I was funded by the food industry. Like maybe I get paid more. Someone explain.
Don't y'all find it rather odd that right after we watch one that talks about them funding the people we get our diet information from, dietitians and different things like that, directly after that we get somebody shooting that whole theory down? You don't see that as kind of odd? And not saying it's not true. She could be debunking the whole thing and she could be right. I'm just saying, that just seems odd how things line up, don't it? Maybe it's just me that just notices that.
I went out to Walmart earlier today and there was literally no food on the shelves in this section. I overheard people talking about how prices had increased in the last week, and it seems everyone was kind of panic shopping right now. I don't know if that has anything to do with what's going on in Israel. Definitely noticing some supply chain issues that are new.
See, when I see stuff like that, I want to talk to the truck drivers you got to kind of go to the source, see what's going on. Is the truck drivers feeling it? Are they striking? Are they mad because, you know what I mean, they're overworked and underpaid and they want to see wages go up and different things like that, and they're scaling back? Could be the trucking industry, could be the food industry, it could be a Walmart issue, it could be something going on. It could be that's going on overseas. You don't know. So you got to ask questions. Like, that's always scary to see bare shells. I don't care. I don't care who you are. You start seeing that, you start getting nervous.
Lourdes, researchers from George Washington University are calling for stronger regulations after finding phthalates and replacement plasticizers in more than 80% of the popular fast foods they tested. National chains like McDonald's, Domino's, and Chipotle all have something in common, according to new research: potentially dangerous chemicals found in the food.
To be honest, the regulations for phthalates don't make sense.
Dr. Lariah Edwards is the lead researcher of the study that analyzed fast food, finding phthalates and other plasticizers leaching into the food we eat. The chemicals are used to make plastic soft for food packaging, processing equipment, and handling gloves.
They are banned in toys, but they're...
Lourdes, researchers from George...
Bro, it's getting to the point where I'm just scared to eat anything. I'm just scared where I don't know what I'm putting in my body. Like, seriously, I don't have a garden out back. I don't have access to, you know what I mean? I can go to Whole Foods and try to do it that way, but we all know how expensive and taxing that can get. That's a strain on any family. I'm just letting you know, man, at this point, I don't know which way to turn.
I am 100% convinced that we are all f***ed. And I am 100% convinced that the only reason why the government gave lower class people thousands of dollars extra in food stamps is so that they wouldn't cause an uproar and start rioting over the prices increasing on all of the foods. Last week, my bread flour was $4.29. Today, my bread flour is $5.79. That is a $1.50 increase in a week.
Sheesh.
If you don't think that this is going to affect you, you're wrong. So a little bit of knowledge goes a long way. I'm just going to go on TikTok and pop everybody's government bubble and let you become self-aware of the fact that you need to stock up on dry goods now. A little bit of knowledge goes a long way. Get the bread flour, get the sugar, get the yeast, get the dry goods like, you know, the rice, the beans, all those canned goods. Hit up every food bank you can and stock up on the food so you can feed yourself and the babies when the time comes. It's going to be a tough winter. I am 100.
$1.50 increase? That's a huge deal, bro. Like, that ain't nothing to sneeze at. Imagine that across the board for a lot of the different things. That type of increase on a lot of different things that you use on a day-to-day basis. We're feeling it. We're feeling it, man. I don't care who you are. Leaving the house at this point to me is a chore. I don't want to do it. It's a chore. It's like as soon as you go out the front door, cha-ching, 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 that's all I hear. Because you're spending money constantly until you walk back inside your home.
Y'all, so all my life, I have known that if you cut an apple, it's going to turn brown like quick. ASAP, okay? Now, I could be wrong. Like, at this point, I don't even know anymore. Like, I haven't been to school in like 20 years. I don't know. Anyway, this apple was cut a week ago.
What?
Like, you could see it got old. And like, my daughter cut a piece, like, to feed our baby dragon. And look, it is literally like, it's like leather. So I already started poking at it, and I figured maybe y'all would want to see too. So, and then I started poking at it, and it's like a leathery, hold on, let me see if I can get it. Film, can y'all see that? Hold on, let me move over here. All right, let's see, maybe this is better. Okay, like a leathery film. Look at that. This can't be, okay, and like, I'm like, before I do a video and make myself look real stupid, I'm like, let me Google this. It says it takes only up to 5 minutes and for it to start turning brown. This is not brown. And then you open it, it's like you can like peel it. Look at, what is this? Bro. I don't know, like, can y'all see? This is crazy. Look at this.
Nah, I believe you.
It's like,
I believe you.
I can't really see if y'all could see. Let me move over here. Yo, this can't be right. Look, let me go over here. It's like you peel it. Like, this is an apple, y'all. Is this right? Like, I'm like peeling it off. This, am I bugging out? I don't know. Is this normal? Is this something, am I just like really late to the game of life? I don't know. Like, hopefully I'm not like making myself look crazy. And like, but like a week ago, let's try to cut it in half. Hold on. All right, we're gonna try to cut this and see.
Oh,
Bruh,
no.
it looks like it could be.
No.
What the fuck?
No.
Mind you, this was a week ago. It was cut a week ago. Oh my God. I don't know. Should I eat it?
I wouldn't do that. That's crazy. Because a lot of us remember as kids getting handed after your mom cut them apples trying to race to eat it because you didn't want to eat it when it started turning. I was that kid. I didn't want to eat it when it started turning. So it was a race to finish that apple fast and try not to choke while I'm eating it so fast. So to see her slice that, bro, what am I putting in my body? I love apples. And all I can think about is this stuff sitting in my body. And what is it doing once it's sitting there?
Do you like figs? Do you like fig Newtons?
You used to.
Do you like wasps? Well, you must, because every time you eat a fig Newton, you're eating fig wasp eggs.
Stitch this with a fact so ridiculous.
I dislike her so much right now. I haven't had fig Newtons in a long time, but I used to eat them too when I was on my little health kick because I thought they were healthy, you know? She just ruined that. And then she laughed in my face. I don't like her, man. She is so wrong for that. She was wrong for that.
Why are so many people scared of this? This is how folks not too long ago did food. There was no Bilo, Kroger, Publix. Why is it so much more socially acceptable now to trust our groceries into the hands of strangers? Different countries before our food even gets up to us. Different countries, different hands, different companies, different strangers. But this scares people. This scares people to do. This scares people to eat. They are baffled. They don't even know what this is. This is health. This is control. This is power. This is self-sufficiency. This is independence. This is real food. This is the food that you eat. And you won't end up with cancer 15, 20, 25 years down the road. This is life. This is pride. This is so important, and it got lost not too long ago. It's time to find it.
Teach me, oh wise one. Teach me. Teach me. I want to learn. Teach me, because I'm pretty sure, because the first thing I think in my mind, okay, how is that stuff not spoiling? How is that stuff not, you know what I mean? So I'm guessing the fluid that she has in there, I don't know what the fluid is, could be water, could be whatever, is helping to preserve it, I'm guessing, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I have so many questions and I want to learn. Stuff like this intrigues me. Teach me, oh wise one. Teach me.
You know those Walmart brands? There's like Great Value and then the regular brand, right? So we have Cool Whip and then have regular whipped cream. Did you know it's made by the same company?
The Great Value and the
Cool Whip. What Great Value does, they go to the same manufacturer, fam, and they just get it made cheaper without that brand name. The canned veggies. The big name brand is Green Giant, made by Green Giant. Even the Great Value
is made by Green.
Same shit. Cereal, same thing. There's this store called Aldi in the States. Now this store is known for like, we have the best products that match up to the big name brands. That's how they promote their store. If you go into Aldi, they have this brand called Millville, and all of their cereals are offshoots of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, offshoots of Cookie Crisp, offshoots of Rice Krispies, and they look so similar, all by Millville. The real name brand is made by General Mills. They dug deep and found out that Millville is the same thing as General Mills. It's the exact same. They've been lying this whole time.
Wait, but they taste the same or no?
They taste the exact same.
No, they don't.
They taste the exact same. You know those Walmart
That's the part I disagree with. You know what I mean? You're talking to a kid. Now, the part of it being the same company, I've heard that before. So that part I agree with. You know what I mean? That theory was floating around for a long time about that, and how they were just continue to maximize their gains and their profits off for doing other things with the food. You know what I mean? Whether it be giving it to you as an off brand or whatever, but it was still the same company. Now, where I disagree is the taste. No way. No way. My mom, growing up, loved her to death. God bless her soul. Miss you every day, Mom. She used to come home sometime with the knockoff brand, and it did not taste like the real thing. It didn't. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was my mind because it didn't say the same name on it, so my mind made it taste different. You could say that, but the taste I remember was two totally different tastes, bro. The Frosted Flakes didn't taste like the Frosted. I think that was just the name of them or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? Corn Flakes didn't taste like flakes or whatever it was called. It's knockoff. None of them tasted the same. Now you could talk about sodas. I remember Dr. Thunder, and I remember what was the Green Lightning? Was that it? Green Lightning? I remember Dr. Thunder was the knockoff like Coke and all of that type of stuff like that. Those taste the same. The sodas did, but when it came to the cereals, I tasted a significant difference. Maybe it was just me though.
Since I'm talking about food conspiracy theories, I have been on this one my whole life. Fun size M&Ms, like these ones you get around Halloween, you know, taste different from regular ones. They taste worse. They're like harder and stale. Every time I tell someone, they look at me like I'm crazy. But I'm not crazy! They're different! Look at them! Taunting me like I don't know. My theory is that their biggest demand is during Halloween, and that's when they use their lower quality chocolate.
Hey, bro, you tripping, fam. I just had some earlier. And yes, they were from the Halloween batch that we had, candy that we had left over. And we were on our way to the barbershop. And I grabbed something out of there just to eat, to have something to eat. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Them things was hitting. So I don't know what's wrong with your taste buds, but mine, they was hitting. But mind you, I haven't had the ones in the box. I haven't had those in a long time. I even haven't had that bag in a long time. We just happened to have some, and I ate some. So, but they was hitting though. I can't even see. I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. I'm not gonna go along with everything everybody's saying. I'll tell you the truth. They was hitting for me, or maybe I was just hungry.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
That the World Health Organization classifies processed meats as a level 1 carcinogen. Processed meats include ham, bacon, salami, sausages, hot dogs, beef jerky, things like that. A level 1 carcinogen means we have data to prove that it definitively increases your risk of cancer and causes cancer. In the case of processed meats, it specifically increases your risk of colon cancer and stomach cancer. What else is a level 1 carcinogen, you might ask? Well, alcohol, for starters, tobacco, radium, asbestos, plutonium, arsenic, also being a firefighter. So shout out to firefighters. Thank you for your service. Make sure to go get your checkups. So if you're into conspiracy theories, maybe this is one you should look into. The data proves that this is what's dangerous. Not vaccines or any of that other stuff that has no data to prove they're dangerous. This does, yet nobody's talking about it. Why do you think that is?
What's a piece of information?
I'm talking about it. And yeah, I just watched. I think I told y'all the other day about. I think it's called What the Health. I'm gonna get the movie for y'all so y'all can check it out. But yeah, man, this is what we were talking about, me and my family, after it went off, and how we got to do better. Cause bacon, I grew up on it. You expect me to let go of bacon, bro? But after I seen the way they was doing things on that show and they was telling us different things, I gotta let it go. I gotta let it go. But it was a staple in our household growing up. Eating bacon. I can't help it. Salami, a good sandwich. Frankfurt's. Yeah, man, it's ham. I don't do ham as often anymore. You know what I mean? But I do if I go to like Subway and I get the Italian Italian BMT? Yeah, that has ham on it. So I said, man, I gotta do better, especially when you know. And then I've told y'all before, I was a firefighter, 7 years, 7 years, bro. And that's one thing you think about because what you breathing in when you going into a house fire, you know what I'm saying? And it's not when you going in because you're fighting fire because you got a mask on. It's when you're overhauling. And when everything is said and done, most firefighters are tired. They pull their masks off. They got a little trash line and they're in there overhauling. You know what I mean? Still breathing in that stuff. So yes, it. Trust me. So I used to try to be conscious and not take my mask off even during overhaul. So yeah, man. With that being said, I gotta do better.
Pay attention and TikTok. This for entertainment purposes only.
Oh, you may want to leave the room if you're getting ready for a late night snack. Arbys is apologizing to a Jackson teenager after he found something unexpected in his roast beef sandwich, a piece of a finger.
After finding a finger in the food, they only want to apologize to the teen if the millions of customers.
Finger?
Apparently 10 years ago, Arbys was sued because a human finger was found in a kid's sandwich. This poor young was aggressively chewing what was a finger instead of gristle. And what did Arbys have to say about this?
I don't need to hear no more. I don't need to hear no more. That's enough. Oh my God. Oh, I know his mom was livid. Can you imagine turning around and seeing your kid with... moving on, bro. I gotta get that out of my brain.
Part 1 of the conspiracy series, where we either debunk or find out if a certain conspiracy theory is true or not. So the first one that we're going to talk about is the food in the United States really killing us? As we all know, and as we've heard on TikTok time and time again, and maybe through news articles, and maybe even just through people that we know, there are so many additives to food that are allowed in the United States that are not allowed in other countries. And we've also seen that people that go to other countries, they feel so much better when they're over there, when they're eating food, they're losing weight, they don't have as much bloating. And I don't think that that's a coincidence personally. So let's look at some of the food additives that are banned in Europe that are allowed in our food in the United States. First up, we have titanium dioxide. So that's used for like Skittles, Starburst, sandwich breads, X, Y, and Z. It doesn't get excreted very well. It's been shown to be genotoxic in studies, which is why it's banned in Europe. Genotoxicity refers to the ability of a chemical substance to damage DNA, which is the genetic material in all cells, and it also may lead to carcinogenic or cancerous effects. Next up is potassium bromate. It's an additive that's used in white flour, bread, and rolls to increase the volume of the bread and give it a fine crumb and not crusty structure. Bromate has been shown to cause cancer in animals, and trace amounts of the chemical may remain in bread, which can potentially be small health risks to consumers. BHAs and BHTs. These additives work as preservatives for foods that contain oils or fats, and there is a concern for cancer risk with BHA. Color dyes, which are known to be cancerous, but this specific article states that they have information that the dyes have been associated with hyperactivity and behavioral changes in kids. And then brominated vegetable oil, BVO. BVO is associated with potential health risks, including harm to the nervous system. There are more, but I just wanted to highlight these ones in specific. So with all these chemicals added, we're told, to eat vegetables and eat meats and don't eat processed foods. And that's great. I do agree. But let's look at what's wrong with the vegetables and the meat in this country.
Oh my goodness.
For meat and dairy specifically, there are a lot of hormones that are in these foods. These sex hormones do have biological effects in both humans and animals. That could be anywhere from growth promotion related to sex steroids and carcinogenic effects. In the US, there are actually 6 different kinds of hormones approved by the Food and Drug Administration, which is the FDA, and these include the naturally occurring female sex hormones, estradiol and progesterone, natural male sex hormones, testosterone, and 3 man-made chemicals, zeranol, trenbolone acetate, and melangestrol acetate. Part 2. Part 1 of the conspiracy series.
And this is why we have like an obesity problem in our country. Seriously. Like, I don't know the stats, but if you look it up, you'll get a stats that a jaw-dropping stat about the obesity rate in our country, man. But we can't blame them. We have to blame ourselves as well. Because if we, and I myself included, if we stop eating it, they'll be forced to change up. If we stop buying it, they'll be forced to change up. The problem is we won't stop buying it. We always end up making an excuse and going back. Oh man, I'm gonna just cut back for a little while, or I'm gonna only eat it on certain days. That's my go-to. Ah man, I ain't just gonna completely rip the Band-Aid off. No man, I'm gonna slowly do it. Just dip my toe in the water, then my whole foot, and before you know, my whole body will be in the water and I'll be off of it. But my whole body never gets in the water. And I'm back to indulging in everything. Feeling miserable, eating, and then feeling sluggish, all that kind of stuff, man.
Food is a scam. Look, I get it. Modern society is designed in a way to keep you so occupied, what with work, studies, kids, bills, places to go, people to see, yada, yada, yada. They created the problem and then they offer you the solution. And what's that? Convenience food. Did you know that there's enough fertile land on this planet for every single person to have their own plot of land, roughly 4 football stadiums big, to be able to grow fruit and veg for themselves? But we're born into a system which makes us dependent on the system. So we do our shopping in supermarkets instead. It's a scam! And this is where everything's conveniently packaged in plastics, cardboard, tin, and all sorts. And then they pump the food with carcinogens and E numbers, MSG, food colouring, preservatives like nitrates which have been proven to turn into cancer-causing chemicals once they've been ingested. And then you wonder why you have brain fog. And you wonder why you got a headache. And you wonder why your kids have got cognitive problems. The fruit and veg ain't safe either. They be getting their dirty little hands into that cabbage patch, messing with the genetics so it stays fresher for longer. Only so they can make more profit. They don't care about your health. They don't care if little Timmy's gonna grow up big and strong and eat all his greens. No, all they care about is profits, profits, profits. Your health can do one. And if you don't believe me, go and look at the Genetic Technology Precision Act 2023. Oh, you didn't know about that? No, because they don't ask you and don't care about what you think. It's all a scam. After eating all this crap for so long, we start to get diseases, immune problems, gut problems, skin problems. And then we go to the GP and ask them what's going on. And then they want to pump you with drugs. And we know that the big pharma are in cahoots with the food industry. But that's for another video, so make sure you hit follow. Food is a...
That's the scary part, man. Everybody looks at their family history and what your family is known for when it comes to certain things. You know, my mom passed away from cancer. Cancer. No, she didn't eat the best. She wasn't a big person either, though. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how, because she suffered with it she battled for over 20 plus years with it, a bone cancer. How did she, I don't know. She wasn't really a milk drinker. You know what I mean? She drank coffee. It could be canned milk, I guess. They did canned milk back in the days. Y'all still have grandparents and elders that use canned milk? I tell my grandma that every time she comes over. I'm like, you've drank canned milk in your coffee for years. Milk in a can for years. But I didn't look at her and say she's 88 years old and has the best health in the family. Maybe I should join her. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I don't know which way to turn. I don't. Let me give you a rundown of what my grandma eats before we go to the next video. She'll eat a pork chop. She'll eat pig feet. She'll eat liver. She'll drink canned milk. And she's 88. March. She'll be 89. What do you say to that? Do you tell her to change up her diet? No. She's figured it out. I need to get on her diet. I just don't eat some of that stuff I just mentioned, though.
Yep. Here we go. Just another one. Just another coincidence. So let's break it down. So suddenly, 10,000
cattle die overnight over apparent heat stroke because of a heat wave? The temperature over the past 5 days where these cattle died were 95, 91, 99, 93, and 90 degrees yesterday. I'm sure cattle have never experienced heat like this. King Ranch in Kingville, Texas, the largest ranch in America. Texas? It doesn't get hot there. Over the same 5-day period, 102, 103, 96, 96, 99. So why did 10,000 cattle really die in a cooler climate? Yep, here we go.
That's a good question. They need to check what they were eating. They need to pay attention to that, man. Like, also, I always think when I see cattle or something like that, a big headline like that, I think alien. For some reason, I think alien, man. They got to do an autopsy and make sure it's nothing strange wrong with all of them. All of them. Yeah, I automatically think alien. But yeah, they need to check the water and they need to check what they were eating. 2 things I need to know. You know what I mean? And then, how many of y'all knew about this? I wish he'd have had the date on this article so we could have known. It looks like it says June, but it doesn't have a year on that. Because we've all bought ground beef. Well, most of us have. So there's no telling what we could have gotten.
Last week, Burger King rolled out what may be the most disgusting thing you've ever seen. Are you ready for it? Presenting the Real Cheeseburger, complete with 20 slices of American cheese. The burger contains no meat, no vegetables, literally just cheese. Just cheese. So you're probably thinking, huh? Well, it turns out America's dairy industry is suffering, like really bad. Farmers are now spraying their crops with milk and dumping milk down sewers. They can't get rid of the stuff. So they partnered with fast food giant Burger King to try to push the stuff out. But this is not the first time that this has happened. Far from it. The fast food industry has worked for decades with the meat and dairy industry to help push product, including this quesalupa, which was launched by Taco Bell several years ago when dairy sales were down. Or the Wendy's Baconator launched to help pork sales when they were down in 2007. Even the McRib was invented by McDonald's in 1981 after pork producers complained that there was no pork on the menu. And that, my friends, is how fast food conspires with meat and dairy to keep you eating junk. Last week...
Baconator. See, and then they give it cool names, bro, that entice people like me. Like me. I hear Baconator, I'm ready to go get one. I want one. Now I gotta spend the rest of the day fighting the urge. Forget what she was just showing with all that cheese. I ain't eating that. No, I'm not eating no. If that's true, I'm not eating that. No burger with all that cheese on there. You crazy, man. Be so binded up. No. But a Baconator, though. Oh my gosh, bro. They so dirty for that. Why did they have to name that Baconator?
One of the biggest family dynasties in America, except you've never heard of their name. This family dynasty made more money last year than Coca-Cola, Nestle, and Chevron combined. In fact, they're the largest private company in the US. And this single company controls a massive share of your food supply. They're responsible for supplying food for some of the biggest brands out there, like McDonald's, Burger King, Kellogg's, Mars, Dunkin' Donuts, Unilever, Safeway, Kroger, Albertsons, Audi, Tesco, and many, many more. Look in your kitchen right now, and you're gonna find a ton of food made by this secret mega corporation. From cocoa powder to cooking oil, salt, sugar, eggs, meat, but you won't find their name on any of these labels. Most of you have never even heard of this name before. That's because this American dynasty has worked very hard to keep it that way. They don't want you to know what they're doing behind their factory doors. Because if you ever found out, you would never buy their food products again. It's that bad. What is the name of this family, you ask? Cargo. One of the biggest family
Yeah, I haven't heard of them before. Never heard of them before. I was thinking Rothschild, Rockefeller, BlackRock, something like that. I was thinking of that type of name to be heard, but Cargo? Nah. No. So I guess I gotta add them to the list and look them up.
This was the diet that Dr. Sebi suggested for everyone, but especially his patients who were suffering from chronic disease and chronic inflammation. Once they figured out that this diet is what was actually curing these incurable diseases, it vanished. No one could find it. This was the diet that Dr. Sebi...
Wow. Let's see. Drink 1 gallon of natural spring water daily. No animal products, meat, fish, dairy, and honey. No hybrid foods, no alcohol. Avoid using the microwave as it will kill your food. No canned foods, no seedless fruits, no GMO foods, no white or brown sugar. What do we have left? What do we eat? What am I supposed to do? I am so disheartened right now when it comes to food, man. Food used to be my happy place, man. What? Especially, man, you get a good set of wings at nighttime, watch the game, nice beer, sit back, chill. Oh my God, you just get excited, do little dances and everything like that, man. When you got a good plate in front of you. Thanksgiving, oh my gosh, you start preparing for Thanksgiving like a week before. Nope, I don't want to eat that because I'm going to eat it for Thanksgiving. Nope, I want to eat that because I'm going to eat that for Thanksgiving. Are we having that? Throw that in the buggy. We're going to eat that for Thanksgiving. Like all of that. And now it's just like, man, I'm going to be walking around with blades of grass in my mouth. Blades of grass. That's what I'm stuck with, it seems like.
The sad reality is that we're so brainwashed we don't even know who our enemy is. We have Stockholm Syndrome for food because our government is pushing tainted advice on us. I'm going to show you the proof. I bet you this is burned into your brain. Grains as the base of a healthy diet. This was developed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the ones in charge of farming. That's like taking advice about
Yeah, we took tests on that in school, buddy.
Smoking from a tobacco company. But it goes even deeper than that. Do you know what you need in order to label a food healthy according to the FDA? Well, here's their document. You need low fat, and you need 10% daily value of certain nutrients. It doesn't say anything about protein or fullness so that you don't overeat. It doesn't say anything about sugar content. So you get healthy granola and low-fat yogurt and juice and wheat bread that all put you on the blood sugar roller coaster I talk about here. And where has all of this advice gotten us? More people die from the diseases caused by the processed foods that we eat than from any other cause in the United States. This video also shows that processed foods and the medicine to cure it make about $3 trillion per year. So you tell me if something's wrong. The sad reality is that...
Yeah, man. I think the best thing for me to do, man, is to start trying to get it to my kids. Because a lot of the older ones like us, we're stuck in our ways. You know what I mean? And I ain't trying to say we don't give them the information. We do, you know? But I know it's harder for us. If we can catch them while they're young, that way they won't miss it. Like they won't miss them wings and that sauce with that ranch and the beer beside it and French fries. Like they won't miss that pizza on game day. Like they won't miss that Thanksgiving food, that turkey, that ham, the sweet potato pies, the mac and cheese, the rice, the roast, the turkey, the deep fried turkey, like everything. Like they won't miss it if we start them young. For us, we got to go through this thing together, y'all. It's gonna be a long journey, man. Long journey. Listen, man, y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of this video, and stick around and stay tuned. Till next one, I'm gone.